Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will explore retrieval augmented generation RAG using LangChain. I'll walk you through setting up your environment, indexing documents in a vector store, and performing similarity searches. Let's get started here. So in a first step, using environment setup, we will first check if LangChain is installed. Run the following command to verify. So I'm going to use pip show LangChain. So this would be the first command. Next, we will load environment variable using .env in order to access my API's keys. So I'm going to use load underscore ext space dot env and also percentage dot env. Let's run. Can you see it's already there? Okay, now we will index document and retrieve relevant data efficiently. We will use similarity search and maximal marginal relevance MMR search for better context retrieval. Okay, so let's get started with the code. What kind of code we can write here? So first and foremost, I'm going to import basic libraries here. For these, I'm going to use these OpenAI embedding, Chroma, documents, and every other libraries are also there. Let's run this cell. Also, using the embedding method, this embedding method is OpenAI embedding, and the model is relevant text embedding ADA 002. You can change your model name and you can change the embedding AI model as well. Now I'm going to use Chroma platform to use my vector store from directory and creating this persisted directory. If you do not have much knowledge regarding Chroma, just go back to my previous videos 47 or 46. You can get idea regarding this Chroma platform as well. Now let's see how to retrieve these vector store from directory. You can see all these IDs are showing here, and respective IDs are defining respective keywords. And if you go down, you can see their text is also there, documents is also mentioned, everything is also mentioned here. Okay, so due to this text, I'm going to I'm going to put some query there. For example, you can see below that this document and this text is having some course title, course lecture title, and course title is variety of options are there. They are available here. Now using this code, I'm going to use this vector from directory to get IDs and including, let's say, suppose I'm going to retrieve specific ID, then vector store here. Okay, so now with this specific ID, can I add some more document here? Yes, I can add some more document here with this metadata. The heading would be course title, lecture title, and the content is just written over here. So you can dive right into this code because we are going to add this document in the existing one. Now I'm going to use my directory document, which is the edit one. Now if you can see, this is new ID which we are storing here. Let's retrieve this ID here. So I'm going to retrieve this ID. For example, I'm going to retrieve this ID. This would be the relevant code. Can you see? This would be the respective ID here. Okay, now I'm going to update this document. For example, if you want to update this vector document, you can go here with the first content is the relevance page, and then any other points you can see here, this it would be the content, and this will be the metadata here, course title and lecture title. So you can run and you can update the existing document also. Let's see how we can see the updated document there and would see document ID. So I'm going to use this document ID for my purpose. So can you see, it's just update to non-existing ID embedded ID. Okay, so this is just warning, you can ignore it, but here I'm going to update this particular ID as well. Okay, now I'm going to run this cell. For example, I'm going to get this ID. Can you see, this is going to print this ID here. Okay, so this would be the relevant ID. For example, if you want to print this value here, for example, I'm going to print this 688A. So I'm going to get this value here. So I need to print this value. So can you see, this would be the respective ID, and whatever we have updated, it's showing there. Okay, now I can see this course update, and I'm going to update this value here in the relevant ID. So I'll have to select the relevant ID there as well. So I'm going to provide that ID name. Can you see, this is showing to update there. Now let's try to update the same ID. I'm going to provide this ID here, and this is showing the relevant ID which we have updated there. Okay, now once we have updated everything, you can see if you want to delete that ID, so I can use this code. For example, this is my ID, and this would be my method vector from directory, and this would be the 8A. So I can replace with my ID which I'm going to delete. If I'm going to delete this ID and try to retrieve this ID, for example, I'm going to get this ID again. So let's see how I can see what would be the output it's going to print. It's going to print nothing because we have just deleted there. So using this ID, you can retrieve relevant relevant actions. Now our goal with this lesson is the following. First, define a question related to data science. Secondly, use the embedding function of the vector store to create a vector representation of this question. And thirdly, retrieve a pre-selected number of documents relevant to this question. At the next step, these retrieved documents will be fed to an LLM to devise a response. So let's create a variable called question define as follows. So I'm going to define my vector store first. So this would be the vector store there, and using this vector store, I'm going to add a new document again so that we can see the updated one, and I'm going to check whether this added document is giving that relevant ID or not. Can you see, this is just added and the respective ID is showing here. Now let's create a question out of the box functionality. So this is relevant to data, business intelligence and predictive analysis, and everything is related to data science or AI or machine learning sort of. So I want to ask one question from this text, whether what programming language do data scientists use. So I'm going to define a retrieved document variable. So in this retrieved document, the first parameter we pass is query. Here you can see this is a query, our question. The second parameter to set is k corresponding to number of retrieved documents. If defaults to 4, it defaults to 4, but let's change its value to 5 documents, allowing us to identifying a pain point in the similarity search algorithm. So I'm going to run this cell to initialize this retrieve documents, and let's try to print this document here. Okay, so I'm just printing this document here. So you can see it's a displaying the variable. We find that retrieve document is a list of 5 documents. I find this a bit difficult to read, so let me use a for loop that displays only the page content and the lecture title of each document. So I'm going to use for loop here. So with this for loop, I can go and display the relevant values as well. Okay, so I'm going to display relevant documents. Here you can see everything is showing here. Title lectures, their lectures are showing here, and their content is just written below. So this is a quick review of your page relief documents, what you have retrieved there. Next is retrieve maximal marginal relevance search. For example, you want to ask a question, what software do data scientists use? I'm going to use this question. So again, creating a retrieve document with this vector store. So I'm going to use this method max marginal relevant search, query question, which we define here, and the k is equal to 3 for these variables, these number of documents, lambda multiply, and the filter is lecture title and data science, all the tool you need. So this would be the lecture title. Let's try to print this document again. What is the correct output here? Can you see? This would be the correct output. So this would be the programming language, software data science, software deployed, and everything is just showing here. This is just relevant part. Let's move ahead with this generating stuffing document. Can I use this document for further purpose? Yes. For this, I'm going to use this string output parser. If you do not have any idea regarding this, you just go back to my previous video to explain this. You can find these documents in the description box as well, and in my GitHub profile as well. So I'm going to run this code, and with this run cell, I'm going to use this vector store as well. So I'm going to use this vector store with this comma, and this OpenAI model is used here. So I'm going to use this length would be there. I'm going to use this length again. Can you see this document is having 43 documents? Okay, so now I'm going to retriever vector store as a retriever. This size search type is MMR because my method is MMR, and the search keywords is k is equal to 3, and lambda multifactor is 7. So let's create a template for this, as we have done in previous sessions also. For example, provide a dynamic variable, dynamic response to the question, context, and this prompt template, and the from template as well. And we are going to initialize a chat process. With this chat, I'm going to use this model GPT-4. You can use another model. If you are keen to get started now with this model, you can provide the seed maximum token. I need only 250s, and with this I'm going to ask a question here. So this would be a question to my document. What software do data scientists used? So I'm going to use this chain. So this chain would be will be created using this vertical list, and this would be a runnable through and prompt template. So chat dot invoke would be my question. This question would be the output, and here you can see it's using my OpenAI key. My account is going to pay out of amount somewhere, and in this advanced activity I'm just getting this question, and this question is the answer of this what software do data scientists use. Here you can see this is giving some question, so is there some response. So it's not going to respond very clearly, so you can print that answer also. For example, you can to print this value as well. Here you can see this is the relevant output. Okay, now for example, I want to generate a response using a long chain here. So I can add more values in my long chain. For example, prompt template, chat output, and the string output parser. So I can use that chat process as well. So I'm going to invoke my chain again so that this question would be there. So I'm going to ask the same question again, and let's see what would be the output here. Can you see? It's just retrieving my question, and with this question this would be the output. And let's print out this question. Here you can see the same question is going to print out. So this was quick overview of RAG with LangChain. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your questions in the comment below. See you in next one. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.